Today's video is brought to you by Card Kingdom, and right now you can get this sweet Scoop Soldier sticker when you order over at cardkingdom.com. Just mention in your order notes that you want a Scoop Soldier sticker when you go to checkout. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Much Abrew About Nothing. And today, we are heading to Modern for Mr. Toad's Heartless Summoning, basically a Golgari Gitrog Monster value deck, really looking to use Heartless Summoning like an absurd ramp spell, and we already did a full instant deck tech on the deck, so not going to go really in depth here explaining the deck, jump right into the gameplay, but going to do a super quick reminder deck tech. If you want a fuller breakdown, make sure to check out that instant deck tech for Mr. Toad's Heartless Summoning. Anyway, a super quick reminder before we break down the deck. If you enjoy this deck, and you enjoy Much Abrew in general, it would be amazing of you if you could take a second, click that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So let's talk Mr. Toad's Heartless Summoning. Starting with Heartless Summoning, basically 2-mana chat makes our creatures cost 2 less, but gives them -1/-1. So an insane ramp spell, potentially making 4, 6, 8 mana in a turn as we're casting a bunch of creatures. Making our creatures smaller, it's annoying, but not the end of the world, because none of our creatures actually die to it. So what we want to do with Heartless Summoning is get it down and then do things like Wayward Sawtooth for 1 mana, Oracle Moldiah for 2 mana, which allow us to make extra land drops, sometimes even off the top of our deck, which ramps us really quickly. We can even start making land drops from our graveyard with the help of Ramanop Excavator, and then Vizier the Menagerie allows us to play creatures off the top of our deck. So once we get this set up, we're able to play lands off the top of our deck with Oracle, creatures off the top of the deck with Vizier, everything's super cheap. We're making a bunch of extra land drops, so we can just play through a huge chunk of our deck really quickly. Eventually, we're going to hit our Gitrog Monster and also Tireless Tracker, which are our main sources of card advantage. Gitrog Monster is lands go in the graveyard, allows us to draw cards. Tireless Tracker makes clues when lands come into play, and since we have so much mana from all our extra land drops, we can keep cracking those clues to draw cards. Also, because we can see the top of our deck, we can do some shenanigans where we have a clue on the battlefield, we can see if we want the top card of our deck. If we do, we can crack a clue, draw it. If we don't, we can like crack a fetch land, shuffle it away, maybe a fetch land from our graveyard thanks to Ramanop Excavator. And then our big finisher is Ob Nixilis the Fallen, which drains our opponent for 3 and grows whenever a land comes into play. So we can get down our Ob Nixilis, maybe for just 3 mana, thanks to our Heartless Summoning. Then we are able to play a fetch land, crack a fetch land, that's 2 lands, that's 6 damage. Then maybe make an extra land drop, fetch land, crack fetch land, that's 2 more land drops, 6 more damage. So it's very possible that we could just bird our opponent out of the game with Ob Nixilis, fetch lands, extra land drops, maybe from our graveyard. Otherwise, Gilded Goose just speeds things up in the early game. Once upon a time, kind of filters through our deck and finds our important pieces. We have a bunch of discard to interact on turn 1. We don't really start playing creatures outside of Gilded Goose until turn 2, and sometimes even later than that. Our deck is a little top heavy, but leaning on Heartless Summoning to make things cheaper. Fatal Push, Assassin's Trophy for removal. Mana Base, Ghost Quarter can lock our opponent out of the game with the help of land drops from our graveyard with Excavator, multiple land drops a turn, just eat away all our opponent's land. Grasping Dudes, another way to interact with creatures. Nurturing Peatland for more card draw. Bunch of fetch lands, again, can control the top of our deck with being able to see the top of our deck, so more valuable than in most decks. And then Overgrown Tomb, a bunch of basic lands. As far as the sideboard, we get some discard and Lost Legacy to pick apart our opponent's hand. Fatal Push, Engineer Explosives, Assassin's Trophy give us a bunch of removal options. Acidic Slime for artifacts and enchantments. Doomweight can sweep away a board of X ones like Lingering Souls, Young Pyromancer stuff. Whisperwood Elemental, really good against control decks because it protects us from Wrath. Worst case, if our opponent goes to Wrath, we can sacrifice it and get a bunch more stuff whenever our non-token creatures die. And then some Graveyard Hate, Nile Spellbomb, and Grafdigger's Cage, choke to deal with blue decks. And that is Mr. Toad's Heartless Summoning for Modern. And that's our Much Abrew deck for this week, so let's jump into it. See if Gitrog Monster actually has what it takes to compete in this value-centric shell in the Modern format. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoy it, and I will talk to you soon. Much Brew About Nothing time. We are frogging in Modern, playing some Mr. Toad's Heartless Summoning, and not to play first. Okay, that's a concern. So I'm guessing this is the Manaless Dredge deck, and we need to Inquisition. I think that's the only deck in existence that chooses not to play first. Well, we'll take Bobble. This does slow our opponent down by a turn. Opponent, passing. Well, Vern Catacombs, crack it. Get a Forest. Sadly, our Ghost Quarters aren't going to be great. Opponent, passing. Get a discard to hand size. Well, we will play Ghost Quarter. Play Oracle. We'll see. Opponent's hand isn't that scary, honestly, for how Dredge can be. Nurturing Peatland, Gilded Goose. Yeah, opponent discards Dredgers for Phantasmagorian. Well, we know our opponent's got multiple Creeping Chills in hand, so we don't have to worry about those. And they have no 0-drops in hand. So, well, let's see how our opponent dredges. We might be able to put up enough defense. All right, gonna cycle Street Wraith to dredge. Sure. Opponent. So I guess Phantasmagorian, discard a bunch more stuff. Dredges. All right. Nothing deadly yet. Once they hit Narcomoebas, they're going to be able to start kind of doing things. They have the Salvage Titans, which can go back to hand, but they don't have any artifacts to cast. Or one can go back to hand. I guess two could if they want to exile Sword of the Meek, but I don't think they do. Opponent, going to discard the rest of their hand. Yup. And casts a Hollowwood. Sure. Well, we will see. Opponent passes. Well, let's sack Peatland, draw a card. Draw the Heartless Summoning. We would like a land on top of our deck, honestly. Not a land. Well, Excavator will be good for next turn, assuming there is one. Play Heartless Summoning. Sack our food. Play Tireless Tracker. Pass the turn. All right, how good can our opponent do this turn? Opponent dredges. Narcomoeba and Sword of the Meek. So they get to get back to Sword of the Meeks. Okay. I don't know if they should have played that hollow one last turn, though. Because they can... Yeah. I don't think they should have, honestly. Because if they had the hollow one, they could get back Salvage Titan and get back Vengevine. Yeah. And, I mean, we have random creatures, so we can just block hollow one. Our geese are not doing much at the moment. Well, this should be an interesting turn, at least, hopefully. We might be able, without Creeping Chills being a threat, we might be able to just make enough things to block. All right, so opponent gets Salvage Titan. Yeah. Play Salvage Titan. Sure. I mean, I guess that's technically an upgrade over a, play Windswept Teeth, get a clue. Verdant Catacombs, get a clue. Sack Windswept Teeth, Forest, get a clue. Play Vizier. I think we sequence. All right, let's sack a clue, draw Nixilis. Catacomb, get a Forest, get a clue. Excavator, and once again pass the turn. Oh my god. Oh, we could have played the one off the top of our deck. Oh, I'm gonna get so yelled at. Opponent dredges. Three prized amalgams in a row. All right. Well, after talking about our opponent's hollow one play, we just chose not to play Excavator off the top of our deck, so evensies. Opponent Gobbat going to attack. We will just block the Salvage Titan with a Goose. Opponent passes. Peatland on top. Alright, so play Peatland, get a clue. I mean, we are valuing off here through the puns. Nixilis, Verdant Catacombs, drain our opponent, get a clue. Sack Verdant Catacombs, get a swamp, drain our opponent, get a clue. Tracker off the top. Ghost Quarter ourselves. Grab a Forest. Get 2 clues. Trigger up Nixilis. Opponent down at 9. We're like Golgari Bird, and this is without the frog. Excavator off the top. Sword Tooth off the top. That lets us Catacombs. And I think we're just gonna win. Combo kill. Nixilis combo. We hit another land drop. Opponent down to 6. Crack it. Opponent down to 3. And then all we gotta do is attack. Oh my goodness. What a turd! What a turd! That's what the deck could do. That is a great example of what the deck could do. Attack you! And that was impressive. We did, 15 with Nixilis that turn? And it could have been 18 if we had had another black source instead of having to play one land beforehand. I don't think this deck can do anything at instant speed. Well, that is the power of Nixilis. 12 clues, burn about from basically 20 with Nixilis. That was insane. Well, that is a great... This is turn 6, which isn't fast, but it's also not, like, super slow for a modern deck. Yeah, that was pretty impressive. That was very impressive. An opponent, yeah, scoops it up. I really like the idea of the Manaless Dredge deck. I just don't know if it's good, and hopefully things get worse for our opponent. We don't have a ton of graveyard hate, but we do have some. Grafdigger's Cage, 2 Spell Bombs. And then Thoughtseize. Discard is very good against our opponent's deck because if we can play it on turn 1, we force our opponent to wait an extra turn before doing things. That was also a good example of what Vizier can do. Even though we could have played another creature off the top, but still, that is a good example of the power of the Vizier. What are we cutting? Heartless Summoning, Thoughtseize, Inquisition. I guess Inquisition is the sketchier of the two, because we might have to take a Dredger, which isn't ideal. I mean, maybe trim a Once Upon a Time, and maybe like 1 Tracker. Yeah, let's go 1 Tracker in this matchup. Run it like that. Well, what we want most is Grafdigger's Cage or Nile Spellbomb. That is we will mulligan fairly aggressively to find one of those. They're not leyline level good, but Grafdigger's Cage is pretty close. All right, Boda. Boy, hard to pass up Heartless Summoning. We don't have Graveyard Hate. You know what, we're gonna keep this. It's probably wrong, but we have Discard to slow our opponent down by a turn, theoretically. We get 2 Once Upon a Time, and we have Heartless Summoning, which is our main engine piece. Inquisition is our sketchier discard spell. We will take a Tracker, play a Swamp, and Inquisition, take Sickening Shoal. Pass the turn. Opponent's hand's not great, honestly. They have 1 Dredger, and they're going to have to wait another turn before playing it. I'll play the Forest, Heartless Summoning, go. And they only have Golgari Thug, no Phantasmagorian, at least as of last turn. Opponent goes digging. Stinkweed. Alright, so that is a slightly better Dredger. Boatage. Passes. Oh, it's a frog. It is a frog. I think we wait 1 more turn, though. I think we play Tireless Tracker, get a clue. Play the land, get a clue. Sack the land, get a Forest, get a clue. Once Upon a Time, take, I think we just take Obnixilis, pass the turn, put it, dredges, hits a Vengevine, and a Prized Amalgam. What you got about it? They do get to dredge again with Street Raid, if they so choose. Opponent, gonna pass. Opponent passes. Excavator, that's very sweet. So play Excavator, play a Forest, get a clue, play Gitrog Monster, Verdant Catacombs, get a clue. Sack Verdant Catacomb, draw a card, get Overgrown Tomb, get a clue, and go attacking. And our opponent's gonna need a pretty good turn here because we can Obnixilis and drain for at least 12 next turn. So opponent's gonna need to do something big. They didn't hit a Creeping Chill. They cycle down to 16. Okay, there's Narcomoebas. All right. So opponent is going to have an okay turn. 2 Narcomoebas, going to get back 2 Prized Amalgams. However, this Obnixilis is insane. It's just so insane. And we have things that we could draw that just literally win us the game. Like another way to make an extra land drop. If we get 3 fetch land drops with this Obnixilis, that adds up to lethal without even attacking. Mab Knight. All right, so our opponent also managed to get back their Vengevines. Although thankfully, we have a Gitrog Monster that can block them. So opponent did have a good dredge turn here. Combat. Attacks. Boy, I'm tempted to just take it. No, we block. Block a Vengevine. Million Prized Amalgam triggers. All right, can we win the game this turn? So float mana. Actually, let's float 1 mana. Float a mana, sacrifice a land, see what we draw. Peat land. Well, sack a clue. Draw a card. Grow the Tracker. Okay, there's Swordtooth. That should do it. So now we get to play Obnixilis, Verdant Catacombs, and I think we're just going to burn them. We're going to burn them out. We're like Golgari Bird. And this is turn 5. That's pretty quick, and we have a million clues. Crack Verdant Catacombs, draw a card, get a Forest, drain you, Verdant Catacombs, drain you, crack Verdant Catacombs, draw a card, and opponent scoops it up. Huh! Well, that is a good example. I mean, it kind of took our opponent playing a deck that just can't really interact. But that was a good example of what the deck is trying to do. That is exactly the highlight reel of our opponent can't interact with us. We're not super fast. But once we get to like turn 5, turn 6, and we got the Thoughtseizes and some removal to get there and some blockers, once we get to that range, our deck can just win in one big kind of combo turn. And Obnixilis is just insane. I don't think we really damaged our opponent that entire game. We might have poked in for like 2 with Ramen Excavator or something, but we were basically just going to deal 18 points of burn with Obnixilis there and extra land drops and Gitrog Monster. Yeah, sweet. Much brew about nothing time. We are frogging in Modern. Played some Gitrog Monster, Mr. Toad's Heartless Summoning. No Heartless Summoning with this hand, but I mean, we got a Goose into an Excavator potentially. Oracle for extra land drops. Just Ghost Quarter, Excavator, Oracle can do some work in some matchups. For the first time in our lives, we want to play Tron. Verdant Catacombs, crack Verdant Catacombs. I think we play it safe and just take a Forest. Ob Nixilis is our one double black card, but we don't need that for a while. And Goose technically makes black mana if it lives. Opponent, one spot a dime. For Devoted Temple Garden, untapped, and give river. Well, play a land, Heartless Summoning, Ramanamp Excavator. I mean, we're off to a good start. The problem is, can we actually stop our opponent from just going infinite? The Giver of Runes adds an extra layer of protection, and we know there's a Devoted Druid in hand. Horizon Canopy. There's Devoted Druid. Opponent. Passing. Well, we will play Oracle of Moldiah. Ghost Quarter you. Our best bet is that our opponent's greedy on lands. Does not seem super likely, though. Gets a basic. Ghost Quarter. Gets a basic. And we will pass the turn. I mean, if you got it, and we're dead. Eladrami's Call. Well, no, they certainly got it. Vizier. Infinite mana. Well, I mean, I guess the only slight question is, do they have a finisher? Yeah, this probably is not a great matchup for our deck, in all honesty. The problem is, our deck is good at grinding, but, alright, so, wow, boy. Well, that is about as good of a hand as our opponent's deck can have, in all honesty. Turn 1 Giver, turn 2 Devoted Druid, turn 3 double Eldrami's Call for Vizier and Walking Ballista. Like, that is the turn 3 kill, even with a layer of protection, which is just absolutely insane. Alright, so we'll bring in a land, a Fatal Push, and Engineered Explosives. So the challenge with our deck is, while it is really good at grinding out medium to long games, that's where our deck is especially powerful. If our opponent can just, like, combo kill on turn 3, going, like, Heartless Summoning, Wayward Swordtooth, make extra land drops, like, that's cute, but it doesn't actually stop you from dying, on turn 3. It's good if you go to, like, turn 6 or turn 7, it's insane. But that is sort of the challenge, I would say, with these combo matchups. We don't even have a ton that's excellent against what our opponent's doing. Now, we'll try to bring in a bit more interaction, and I guess just run it like that. We are not a removal-heavy deck, that's for sure. All right, we get to play first. And, okay, well, this isn't a thrilling hand, but we do have interaction, which is something, and our opponent London Mulliganing for their combo. So hopefully they London Mulligan a bit to try to find combo pieces, and we can kill the combo pieces, and then our opponent's deck does nothing. So that's our hope. One of the weird side effects of London Mulligans is, in the past, if my opponent mulliganed to 5, I'd be like, oh, I feel bad. I was hoping that, you know, we'd have a fair fight, but now when my opponent mulligans to 5, especially if I know they're on a combo deck, oh, I'm like, keep going. Go to 4, please. I know what you're doing over there, opponent. I know how this works. I know what's going on. So mulligan as far as humanly possible. and then just hope that we can punish our opponent for it. Opponent, once upon a time, gets a Giver of Runes. Alright, opponent kept a no-lander by the looks. Well, we will grab Overgrowth Tomb. Well, opponent might be getting punished. Well, Forest Goo. Boot it. Alright, finds a land. Noble Hierarch. Well, we do need to kill that. Opponent pass. Well, play a Swamp and Excavator. Pass the turn. Boot it. Wow, land number 2. Alright. Well, they're hitting their pieces. Giver of Rude. Opponent passes. More land. Well, go attacking. I'm not actually feeling that good about where we're at, honestly. Let's play Ramanamp Excavator number 2. We need a frog. We need something bigger and better than just 2 Ramanamp Excavators. Boat it. Untaps. And yeah, we've run a lot of lands this game. Passes. Well, crack, thin the deck. Overgrowth Tomb. Yeah, we don't have very many lands left, do we? Gilded Goose. Really? Alright, go attacking. Gilded Goose is not the big threat we were hoping for. Opponent down to dead. Play the Goose. Get a food. Although, Incidental Life does not really help against infinite damage. Replay Marsh Flats past the turn. Opponent, Eladrami's Call. Gets the Devoted Druid. Wooded Foothills. Devoted Druid. Well, thin the deck. Get a Swamp. Boy, we're going to lose to this, aren't we? I think we are. Opponent passes. Well, they say that Mana Screw beats Mana Flood, and we have drawn a lot of lands, and our opponent kept a 0-lander, and I think the 0-lander is gonna beat our 20-lander by the looks. We never drew anything big or impactful. We've just tried to get there with Ramanamp Excavators, and that's not actually likely to work. Opponent, Vizier, infinite mana. Yeah, alright. Well, hooray for Eldrami's Call. Sure. Alright. Well. That didn't work. Alright, much brew about nothing time. We are frogging in Modern. Mr. Toad's Heartless Summoning. And this is fine. We don't have a Heartless Summoning, but we do have a Goose. So we can Goose into Tracker, into Fetch Lands and Trackers and so forth. Eventually Oracle. I mean, this hand's not going to be great against a combo deck, but in a fair matchup, we got a lot of value. Opponent, Flooded Strand. Alright, so Control, I would guess, most likely. Well, Double Tracker is pretty good against Control. We'll play a land and Guild a Goose. Honk honk. Opponent, Flooded Strand, and Fatal Push isn't that helpful. Well, yeah, I mean, we're going to go for it. 1, 2, 3. Track. No counter. All right, pass the turn. Kind of guessing our opponent's land light if they're leaving their fetches uncracked. Crack's cracked. If we get to untap with Tracker and make clues, I'm going to be very happy. Teferi Bounce Tracker is pretty annoying since we spent our 1 mana. Oh, opponent's got Path. All right, pass the Tracker. Sure. We'll grab a Swamp. Glacial Fortress for our opponent. And passes. Well, Tracker. Alright, opponent's got a Spell Queller. Well, Verdant Catacombs. Yeah, let's get back our Tracker. I think it's worth it. Because Teferi could come down and ruin our plans. So Tracker returns. We just want some clues! That's it, opponent. Let us get some clues and then you can do what you want. Opponent. Played. I mean, even if our opponent Ras here, at least we get to untap Tracker Fetch Land, so it's not the absolute end of the world. Teferi. Okay. Bounces Tracker. Bounces Tracker. And passes. Well, okay. Ooh. Oh, boy. So, Heartless Summoning. Tracker. Opponent! Cut it out! Alright, Marsh Flats, get a clue. Crack Marsh Flats. Well, eventually we achieved 2 clues. It was not easy, it was not quick, but after a ton of work, we made some clues. Alright, pass the turn. And we have down a Heartless Summoning, which is nice. Well, alright, opponent. Please not Big Teferi. We would rather avoid that if we had a choice. Opponent ticks up Teferi. Stoneforge Mystic. Alright, Stoneforge Mystic is okay. We can deal with Stoneforge. We can just go over the top of unless there's sort of Feast and Famine. Then we're sad. Batter Skull, sure. Opponent passes. Goose, meh. Well, play Oracle. Crack a clue, draw a card. Trying to find lands. Alright, there's a land. Windswept Heath. Clue. Ghost Quarter. Clue. Crack Windswept Heath. I think we're running out of basics though, which is annoying. Well, not all the way. Forest. Clue. Go to combat. Attack Teferi. That was a good turn, though. We could generate a lot of value once we get going. Opponent. Gonna let Teferi die. Alright. Yeah. Pass the turn, crack some clues, I guess. Eventually, we'll find the frog. Opponent opts. We could Ghost Quarter ourselves to get another clue. It might actually be worth it if our opponent has, like, a Wrath. Opponent. Passing. Well, crack a clue, draw a card. Ooh, Vizier. That's spicy. Well, crack. Actually, let's make a food. Untap. Oh, this turn could be sweet. Alright, so, Vizier. You got a counter. No. Sword Tooth. For more land drops. Oh, we're going off. Oh, the value. The value has hopefully assembled about it. Our opponent might be getting to the scoop part of the game. We might just have too much value for our opponent to keep up with here. We can play creatures off the top. We can play for 2 less because of Heartless Summoning. We can play at least 2 lands off the top. All right, opponent has a Spell Queller. That slows us down a bit for the time being. Play a Swamp, get a clue. Ooh, Excavator is sweet. Excavator. And opponent scoops it up! Outvalued! Outvalued! Okay. Well, that's what we do against Control. We just go full-on Value Town, and, apparently that's decent. Apparently Value Town, pretty good against Control. Alright, opponent, play Control. We will bring in a Thoughtseize. We will bring in Whisperwood Elemental. We will bring in Choke. We will go down... What do we go down? Our value plan is already pretty good against Control. I feel like don't want to cut much, honestly. Could we go down Fatal Push? Yeah, I guess we can go down Fatal Push. And maybe just one Once Upon a Time. I think we just try it like that. Well, that went spectacularly. I mean, once we stack up the value, it is ridiculous. All right. I guess we keep this. It's not an insane hand, but our opponent's mulliganing. We got a discard spell. Ramanop Excavator is the start of generating value. All right, opponent. What do you got? Celestial Colonnade passes. Opponent went all the way to 5, too. Yeah, Yeah, I think we gotta start thinning our deck. We have so many lands. Marsh Flats, Crack It, Swamp, Inquisition. Gonna force a negation? Oh, they had the option. Opt and force of negation. Yeah, let's just take Snapcaster. Pass the turn. Force of negation really isn't that good against us. It can get Heartless Summoning, but it really doesn't have that much it can get. Opponent Island passes. Vizia. Yeah, let's Fern Catacombs, pass the turn. Keep that in the deck. Opponent opts to the bottom. Probably looking for lands. That seems like a start. Opponent finds Flooded Strand and passes. Well, Crack Catacomb, taken overgrowth, tapped, untapped. Yeah, let's just run out Excavator, I think. No immediate value, but whatever. Pass the turn. Opponent. Flooded Strand, crack. This might be a 3-mana Teferi. Or it could be Jace. Probably a Jace. Jace is not great for us. Yeah. Alright, there's a Jace. Wow, gonna bounce Excavator. Interesting. Come on, Heartless Summoning. Whisperwood. Alright, well, play Ramanap Excavator. Get back Catacomb. Pass the turn. Whisperwood is good protection against a Wrath. Opponent. Brainstorms. We might regret not bringing in more Assassin's Trophies, honestly. We need to be able to kill this Jace. That is step 1. Opponent. Brainstorms. Back up to 4 cards in hand. Hollowed Fountain. Tap. And passing. Well, crack Catacombs. Get the Overgrow too. Untapped. Well, play Catacombs. Go to combat. Attack Jace. Force our opponent to do something. Alright, opponent has a Snapcaster on chump block duty. Sure. 2 mana. Well, let's crack Catacomb. Opponent's gonna Gust Excavator. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's getting shuffled away. Sure. We will grab a Forest. The good news is we get to Whisperwood, and Whisperwood's pretty good. Pass the turn. Manifest. A land. Alright, pass the turn. What do you got about it? To the bottom. Ether Gusting also cost our opponent to get Snapcaster value. It looks like we're gonna get to kill a Jace, which is nice. Hope Stoneforge. 4. This Jace bounce gets a Batterskull. Not overly concerned with Batterskull if we can keep the Planeswalkers in check. Alright, bounces Whisperwood. Opponent passing. Well, go to combat, attack Jace. Opponent blocks with Stoneforge. Well, I mean, yeah, let's Whisperwood again. And Ghost Quarter. Manifest. Excavator. Okay, Excavator is sweet. We can flip that eventually. Opponent needs a Wrath, and I'm not even sure that a Wrath is really enough, especially with Whisperwood out. We might just have a pretty good matchup against Control, honestly. Opponent, Brainstorm. Glacial Fortress. Winds of Abandon. I mean, that is a good Wrath for our opponent. We do get 3 more lands out of our deck. Opponent. Passing. Well, play Vizier, play Gilded Goose, play Oracle, Catacomb. I don't think we have any more lands left to get, do we? Play a Swamp, and, yeah, pass the turn. Gotta hold on to our fetch lands for when we draw a Frog. This Jace has done a lot of work for our opponent. This Jace is pretty much single-handedly keeping our opponent in the game. Brainstorms. Can they keep chaining stuff together? I do think the Jace luck is going to run out eventually, though. Eventually, unless our opponent starts finding fetch lands, they're going to end up having to stack bad cards back on top of their deck. And we have a Thoughtseize for next turn, which is nice. And we can start Ghost Quarter. Island for our opponent, no fetch land. And Batterskull, sure. Well, this means we should get to kill the Jace. We might have to sacrifice some stuff, but opponent passes. Well, Thoughtseize our opponent. Take the Force of Negation. Once upon a time. Frog. Well, take Gilded Goose. Ghost Quarter. Swordtooth. Tracker. Peatland. Swordtooth. Oh my goodness. Another Swordtooth. Grasping Dunes. Clue. Swamp Clue. Sack the Food. Excavator. Go to combat. Tag Jace. Alright. Alright, opponent. Alright. Even if our opponent untaps in Wraths, I think we're still okay. So opponent's gonna block, kill Vizier. We don't really need it too much anymore. We get rid of the Jace. We don't need it too much anymore because we have a tracker now for card advantage. So we're gonna be able to draw our deck. We just need to kill our opponent. Ashiok. Alright. Ashiok would be more of an issue if we couldn't immediately kill it, but we can immediately kill it. Opponent passes. And this is without Heartless Summoning. If we were doing this with a Heartless Summoning, good God. Okay, so let's think about this. Sack a Clue, draw a card, grow the tracker. We do need to kill Ashiok. Oh, there's a frog. Sack a Clue, draw a card, grow the tracker. Get a frog, play Gitrog, Peatland, get a clue. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go to combat. Ashiok, opponent. And I think we do Ghost Quarter here after Ashiok dies. In case our opponent left a Wrath on top of their deck, opponent's gonna block. Well, we will sack a Clue, grow the tracker, kill the jerk, Ghost Quarter, Colonnade, draw a card, and get back Ghost Quarter, get a Clue. 17 cards in our deck. All right, pass the turn. Well, opponent's Wrath or Bust. They gotta hit a Wrath this turn, or they're dead. We don't want to extend more into the Wrath, just in case. It's just a Field of Ruin, and that looks like game. Whoo! All right, so outvaluing blue-white control, our opponent didn't have great draws, but easily just overwhelmed our opponent with value. And this is the matchup where the frog shines. Like, this is where Mr. Toad's Heartless Summoning really gets to go off. Whew! That was sweet. That was sweet. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, just so much value. Well, all right, we'll take it. Sweet, sweet. Much brew about nothing time. We are frogging. Ooh, in modern, and I like this hand. We're playing some Mr. Toad's Heartless Summoning, and this hand's sweet. We have Heartless Summoning for turn 2, assuming no Thought Seizes, and then we got Excavator and Vizier to start controlling the top of our deck and generating card advantage in a weird way, hitting our land drops. Well, all right, let's see what our opponent's doing. Marsh Flats. Oh, no Thoughtseize. No Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize isn't the absolute end of the world, but it is annoying. Inquisition. We're going to let this go and give our opponent the option of taking Once Upon a Time over Thoughtseize. Or they can take Excavator. Any of those are fine. Heartless Summoning is a card we would like to get down the most. Wow, takes Excavator. Interesting. All right. Well, we draw Sword too, so let's... Windswept Teeth, crack it for a forest. I can't believe, maybe they can just kill the Heartless Summoning? Otherwise, not taking that seems like a weird choice. Huh. I think we actually take Cracker first. Play Heartless Summoning, pass the turn. We would like Gitrog Monster, but I think it's more in... Whoa! Whoa! Why would you... Okay, so opponent chose to leave us with Heartless Summoning, and took Ramanop Excavator and then scooped when we cast Heartless Summoning? All right, sure. That's acceptable, I guess. I don't know what our opponent's playing. My guess would be 8-rack. I think... Okay, so we're going to assume that our opponent's playing 8-rack. We very well could be wrong, but that's going to be our guess. And we are going to bring in Acidic Slime. We're not going to go too crazy with the changes, just in case we're wrong and it's like Death and Taxes. But we'll try to bring in stuff that's good against 8-rack and still okay in other matchups, which means mostly Assassin's Trophies, which can hit racks, and if our opponent's not 8-rack, still hit other stuff. Okay, sounds fine. Not nearly as explosive as the last hand, but I mean, we got some value. Omnixilus is insane if we get it down. The fetching of a basic swamp is what makes me think it could be 8-rack, but 8-rack doesn't necessarily need fetch lands. It could be like a smallpoxy 8-rack deck, like white-black smallpox. All right, it's gotta be some sort of discard deck. It's probably smallpox. Opponent, Thought Seizes, sure. What do you think about it? Smallpox is pretty decent against us. It's like awkward because Ramanop Excavator just ruins it, but like right now, if we just run out Goose and our opponent goes Flagstones, Smallpox, we get really wrecked. All right, so opponent takes the Goo. Sure. Now play the Swamp and Inquisition you. At least we get to know what our opponent's doing. Okay, so it is, definitely a Smallpox deck. Well, take Lingering Souls. This is going to be interesting. We would have sideboarded differently if we had known Lingering Souls was a concern, because our removal is not great against it. Opponent, what you got? Flashing back Lingering Souls, Bloodghast. All right, goes with Lingering Souls. Sure, the clock is on. Opponent passes. We'll play a Forest past the turn. Opponent. Marsh Flats. And, ooh, Liliana. All right, that's actually pretty annoying. Takes it up. Well, we'll discard Omnixilus. Yeah, Liliana's a really good draw for our opponent. Gets it, hits us. Down to 18. Well, play the Peatland. Play Wayward Swordtooth. Peatland, go. All right, opponent. What are you doing with Lily? All right, there's a land. It gets back Bloodghast. Oh, it's going to be close. Is Liliana going up or down? And does our opponent ever draw Smallpox? Opponent takes up. Yeah, let's discard Oracle and Bitter Blossom. All right. That's a lot of flyers to deal with. Opponent gets it, hits us. Down to 50. Well, we will 1, 2, 3. Tireless Tracker. Ghost Quarter to get a clue. Pass the turn. Not super confident we can beat the board, though. Opponent, Bitter Blossom, 17. We can still only block with one creature. Ugh, Liliana. There's all kinds of problems. Shambling Vet. Takes up Liliana, working towards the ultimate. Opponent. Passing. So I think step 1 is we're going to have to draw Assassin's Trophy for Liliana to not get ultimated. Catacombs. Well, Catacombs, get a clue. Crack Catacomb. Get a Forest, get a clue. Catacombs, get a clue. crack Catacombs. Forest, get a clue. Come on, Assassin's Trophy for Liliana. Crack a clue. Forest. Crack a clue. Excavator. I'll go to combat. Everything at Liliana. Opponent blocks. Blocks. Well, yeah, alright. Not great. Not great at all. So we're gonna get hit by Liliana Ultimate. Is there any way we survive Liliana Ultimate? Seems less than likely. Alright, let's think about this. So Ghost Quarter, Shambling Vent. Opponent's gonna float a mana. Yeah, we don't really have a way to gain life, do we? Opponent's gonna ultimate. Yes, we will sacrifice our clues, opponent. This is interesting. I think we have to sacrifice the lands, keep our creatures. Opponent gets a redraw with Silent Clearing. And another Bitter Blossom. Ugh, so many things to attack through opponent. Hits us. Down to 8. I'll play the land, get a clue. Sack the clue. We really do need another land. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent blocks. Ugh. Yeah, these Bitter Blossoms are gonna get us, I think. Ugh, if we could have answered that Liliana Ultimate, we might have had a chance. Opponent. Inquisition. Sure. That's actually pretty bad because we wanted this Excavator to rebuild our mana base. Opponent combat. Gets in for 1. Down to 6. I'll play a land, get a clue. Go to combat. Attack, attack. Opponent block. Drops to 9. Well, Swordtooth. Pass the turn. Opponent goes to 7. Is there any way we could get past all of these 1/1s? Oh my goodness. Are we paying life for no reason? Oh my god, we are. Oh no. Yeah, we might lose because of that. Opponent gets in with 2. Ooh. If our opponent gets in with everything, that means a removal spell would win us the game. Okay. Oh man, paying extra life with Peatland for no reason might be costing us. And opponent scoops it up? Really? Through a Liliana Ultimate? Through the paying of life for no reason? Whoa! Okay. I mean, I guess our opponent's problem is we're actually kind of locking them under our big creatures. If they attack with both, they actually just die on the backswing because they go to 2 and then Bitter Blossom hits for 2. If they attack with 1, they have to block, block, block. We go to 4, but then they stay at 7, but then they only get back 2 flyers. I think they should have played out another turn because they could have drawn like Lingering Souls or something, and that would have won them the game, and we were not drawing much of anything. And we were paying life for this, even though it's technically a swamp because of Urborg, but the frog prevails through a Liliana Ultimate. If there's ever a testament to the amount of value your deck can generate, it's your opponent like 7 for winning you with Liliana, and you're just being like, all right, sure, gotcha. Sweet, sweet. Much brew about nothing time. We are Gitrogging. We're actually going to keep this. Heartless Summoning would make this hand insane, but even just Oracle, Fetchlands, and Excavator is a decent amount of value once we get going. Little slower than we'd like, but you can't have it all. Heartless Summoning off the top would be our dream draw. Then we can just Excavator, Oracle, and just really go crazy on turn 3. Scalding Tarn. Yeah. Opponent cracks it. Sure. Mountain. Goblin Guide. Well, we'll let our opponent attack, see what's on top before we decide if we want to crack this land. Opponent, Goblin Guide gets it. Top card is a land. Well, alright. Now we will definitely crack. Well, come on, Heartless Summoning. We don't really have much main deck life gain. We don't really have much life gain at all. We do have Collective Brutality in the sideboard, but opponent hits us down to 70. Yeah, that's Once Upon a Time. If we hit a goose, we do want to cast it. Well, we'll take Tracker. Oh, so slow. So slow. Play the fetch land, pass the turn. Yeah, I just don't know if we're going to be fast enough here, honestly. Opponent. Would have been nice to hit something we could cast. But we did put a lot of lands to the bottom. Temporarily, because we're going to shuffle them back in, but Inspiring Vantage for our opponent. Another Goblin God. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of hasty 1-drops. Opponent. Attack. Attacks. Goblin Guide triggers. Reveals. Land. Alright, more lands. Holy mother of lands. Okay. Wow, we had a lot of lands on top of our deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We put 3 to the bottom, I think, or 4? 3 or 4 to the bottom. Lava Spike, yeah. Well, this is unfortunate. I think we were just going to be too slow here. We can play a thing next turn, but playing a thing, we're already down to 9, and we're facing double Goblin Guide, and I'm sure there's like Searing Blazes and Lightning Bolts, so yeah, maybe this is a bad matchup. Gitrog. I love you, Gitrog, but I don't know if this is your game to shine. Excavator. Well, it'll be interesting to see how much this matchup improves after sideboarding. I think main deck, this is probably got to be one of our worst matchups in the format. Just like red aggro. Our deck is all like 5-drops. 3 drops, 4 drops, 5 drops, which means a perfectly reasonable value keep like we kept this game is just like not going to get there against mono red most of the time. I think we either need Heartless Summoning or we need sideboard cards. This is Blade. Yup. Well, we're not going to scoop early, but we're probably just literally dead, so. Opponent, combat, Goblin Guides, gets in. Yeah, we don't have any way to gain back life, and our clock is nowhere near fast enough to win. Gilded, well, I mean, I guess technically Gilded Goose gains back life, sort of. Sure, we go to 2. We got a bolt, or a spike, or a something. Literally anything. Alright. Well, turn 3 burn kill. Yeah, that seems like something that will probably happen to this deck, especially in game 1. Little bit on the slow side. So what do we got that can actually fight burn is a question. We can bring in the Fatal Push. We can bring in Engineered Explosives. We can bring in 2 Collective Brutality. Ugh. Even after sideboarding, we don't really have a ton. Okay. So I think what's our best way of winning this game? It is probably just to have a Heartless Summoning on turn 2. Uh-oh. Do we have 61 cards? There we go. All right, yeah, Vizier, you're not supposed to be in our... Vizier, the value's nice, but again, too slow. And it's only really good if we have Heartless Summoning, and if we have Heartless Summoning, it dies to Lightning Bolt. Well, we will see. But yeah, I imagine this is not the matchup we want to play. We could add more life gain to the sideboard. Having, like, Life Goes On or something might go quite a ways, or Weather the Storm might go quite a ways to swinging the matchup in our favor. We just don't have much, honestly, for the burn matchup. Backed by our main deck not being very good in the burn matchup. We just don't have much cheap interaction. Alright, well, we will definitely play first. I don't think we can keep this. We get to Inquisition and Assassin's Trophy, but our threats are 5 drops. Yeah, we got a mulligan. Oy. Okay, that hand has some cards we want, but a 0 lander. Alright. Go, 5-card hand, go. Swamp, go. Ugh. Because we mulligan so much, we probably can't even 2-mode this Brutality. Ugh. Yeah, not good. Not good at all. Mountain Fire about it. And Rift Bolt suspended. We draw Oracle. Well, that's a couple of ends away from doing things. Pass the turn. We're gonna bolt our face. Down to... Boy, one thing we've said a lot is, if only we had Heartless Summoning. Heartless Summoning is our best draw. That seems like that comes up a lot with this deck. If there was, like, additional copies of Heartless Summoning, would be pretty helpful. Sacred Boundary, untap, 70. And Takal Honor. Well, that is Heartless Summon. Well, play Heartless. Ugh. Play Heartless Summoning. Play Verdant Catacombs, but we're not going to crack it. We're not going to play Tracker. We're going to wait one more turn. We really want some clues off of this. Hilariously, Takali Honor Guard does not do much against our deck. I guess it shuts down Gilded Goose, but we are not an Enter the Battlefield trigger deck. Opponent, Goblin Guide. Here comes the beats. Goblin Guide reveals land? Yes, okay. Down to 14. And Rift Bolt suspended. Now we untap. We play Tireless Tracker. Crack Catacombs. Grab a Forest. Get a clue. Oracle. Land on top. Goose. Play a land. Get a clue. Inquisition our opponent. Alright. All of this is bad. Take a Skullcrack. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. Alright. So opponent just gets to mow down our board and then attack for free. Ugh. Okay. We'll see what happens. If our opponent draws a land, things get way worse, because then they can turn on Landfall with Searing Blaze, and we're taking a ridiculous amount of damage. Well, here comes Rift Bolt. Wow, alright, just going face. No land. Please, no land. If our opponent doesn't draw a land, we have a tiny bit of hope. It's tiny, but it's there. So opponent can kill any of our creatures. Alright, gonna Searing Blaze the Oracle. Sure. Goes to combat. Attacks. I mean, we will block with Tracker. Opponent gets in with Goblin Guide. Actually, do we even block with Tracker? I think we actually don't block with Tracker, because we're gonna kill this Goblin Guide anyway. So if we wait, we can draw a card. Brutality 2 mode. 3 mode? Alright, yeah, alright. We're gonna take it. Down to 6. Untap, crack a clue, draw a card. Tracker, well, 3 mode, Brutality. Opponent, Goblin Guide. Opponent, discard our hand. Take Helix. I think our chance of winning is our opponent not drawing land. Pass the turn. So opponent really needs a land. Okay. Yeah, that is the draw. I mean, we can't really expect our opponent to never draw land. Yeah, this matchup feels so bad. Opponent. Searing Blaze, we go to 5, hits us to 1, and then can skewer us to, or hits us for 1 down to 4, then can skewer us for 1. For 3 down to 1. Wow, so many ones. All right, down to 4. Opponent crack. Well, opponent sideboard in a card that is basically dead against us, and we're still losing by a mile. And we drew one of our only sideboard cards. Well, once upon a time, gets Excavator, play Catacombs past the turn. Well, now we need our opponent to draw lands for 7 or 8 turns. And any non-land kills us. Opponent. Looks like any non-land. Yeah, alright. Yeah, that matchup is not even close to being good. Well, if burn is a thing, probably gonna have to change the sideboard a bit because that's not even close. Good news is, we technically finished 3-2 and had some spectacular games with Gitrog Monster, which means we get a treasure chest. Only one, but sometimes that's all it takes. That could be the complete set treasure chest. You never know. Yeah, crack it open, see what it says. Come on, one time. Well, all right. Not a very aesthetically pleasing treasure chest, just 90 play points, although it's like $9 a play point. So it's technically a win financially, but not as exciting as opening some splashy valuable cards. Well, all right, this deck was interesting. Burn matchup though, good God. I guess that's wrap-up stuff to talk about, but you are not going to beat Burn very often. Yeah, all right, sweet. Be right back. So why don't we learn this week about Mr. Toad's Heartless Summoning in Modern, and overall we went 3-2 in our league, which is pretty reasonable. The value of the deck is obviously absurd. We had some just amazing games where when we kind of get a Heartless Summoning, assemble some of our pieces, our ability to just grind and go off is really crazy. We saw that against Blue-White Control, against Manaless Dredge. On the other hand, there's a bit of a downside to Mr. Toad's Heartless Summoning, which we saw in some of the more aggressive and fast combo matchups, which is our deck can be slow. We're a deck that if we get to turn 4, turn 5, turn 6, we can do ridiculous, really powerful things, like just draw a ton of cards, generate a ton of value, make a ton of land drops, eventually burn you out of the game in one big turn without Nixilis. Once we get to kind of the mid to late game, our deck is awesome. On the other hand, when our opponent goes turn 1 Goblin Guide, or when our opponent is combo killing with Vizier Druid on turn 3, that's where our deck can struggle, because if you look at our curve, we don't have much on turn 1, even as far as interaction. We got Thought Seizes, Inquisitions, but not that many. Only one Fatal Push, a couple of Assassin Trophies. So for being a Golgari deck, we're pretty light on early game removal. And then on turn 2, it's pretty much Heartless Summoning. We don't really have 2-drops either. And then what we're hoping, similar to Panharmonicon decks, I've used this comparison before. Panharmonicon, you got to take a turn off to get Panharmonicon on the battlefield, but you're trusting that you make up for that the next turn by almost getting 2 turns worth of value. We're kind of doing the same thing where we're more or less skipping our first couple turns. That's an exaggeration because we do have Gilded Goose and a couple of discard spells. But really, we're taking off turn 2 for Heartless Summoning in our best draws, and then we're hoping that being able to play multiple things on turn 3, like Tireless Tracker, into Oracle, make extra land drop, something like that, will make up for it. That works well when we have Heartless Summoning, and when we're not in too fast of a matchup. Even if we have Heartless Summoning, if we're up against Burn, which was by far a worse matchup, going turn 2 Heartless Summoning when our opponent's already got maybe 2 Goblin Guides, a bunch of burn spells, hoping to play a couple other creatures that draw us cards or make land drops on turn 3, that's just not a reasonable way to win the game. So that's one of the things I noticed about the deck. In any matchup that isn't super fast, our deck is great. On the other hand, if our opponent is playing a super fast deck, things are a lot sketchier. We don't have that much life gain. We don't really have that many ways of stabilizing with removal. We don't have any sweepers. So that's stuff to consider for the deck. If we're playing against mid-ranger control, our deck is beautiful, amazing, awesome, but against dedicated aggro or fast combo, it gets a little bit sketchier. Good news is, we still had a winning record, and the deck is spectacular in the good games. The good games are just so much fun. You draw so many cards, do so many things, so I really love this deck, and I think it's really cool. Just be warned if you pick it up. When you run into fast aggro, fast combo, those are the matchups where you're gonna have to get a little lucky. Maybe the opponent gets a bad draw, maybe we have a good draw, we have our Heartless Summoning or some sideboard interaction, so you're gonna have to get a little bit lucky, I think, in those matchups. Those are the matchups we want to play least, but the other matchups, good lord, this deck is spectacular and awesome and so much fun. So anyway, anyway, that's Mr. Toad's Heartless Summoning. That's been our bunch of brew for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.